Good morning, everybody. Good morning from Maui, Hawaii. I am excited to be up bright and early with all of you guys. It's not that hard to get up this early and be over here when you're excited to be able to share and inspire other people. So you guys inspire me to get up and get going early this morning, and I hope that what I can do for you in return is inspire you to be able to do something that you didn't think or believe or haven't allowed yourself to do before you decided to get up and get on this call with me this morning. So thank you for joining me and making it worth my effort to be here with you. This week, we're going to talk about how connectors inspire people, you guys. And he says, I was listening to John Maxwell this week on the yeah, bitter cold Oklahoma, I'm sorry, on his recap of Minute with Maxwell, and he was talking about trust, and he says that connectors inspire people, and he says not by what we say, but what we do. Sorry if my words are jumbling around. And you guys, I was thinking about this week and what we've learned and what we've gotten to see, and you know, Arbonne sharing their vision with us for where we're going as a company and as a team, between them and us and our owners with Groupe Rocher. And I just thought, you know what, where everyone is so inspired right now in Arbonne, because we have trust. We have trust with Arbonne. We have trust with Jean David, our CEO. We have trust with Groupe Rocher, you guys. They shared a statistic that out of, Groupe Rocher is a company that's 60 plus years old. And, they sought us out. They paid more money for us than they could have paid other companies that were like us. But they sought us out and paid for us because they saw that we aligned with who they were as a company, with their mission and vision for what they wanted to do. But they told us that they have never, in their 60 years of being in business with multiple companies, you guys, they're an organization that has not just one company, but they have multiple companies. We turn the air. Yeah. And, but they said they have never seen a company do what Arbonne has done in this past year, to grow as much as we grew, as fast as we've grown, as old as we are. We're a 40-year-old company this month, you guys, and we're having explosive growth. And they're so excited about it, and they're so committed to help us do what it is they knew we could do whenever they sought us out and bought us. So they couldn't be more excited about the future that we have and about the partnership that we have with them. But I and all of the field, you guys, are excited and inspired because we trust them. We trust that they are doing everything that they say they're going to do to help support our growth in this business, because they've already done it in the very short time that we've been with them. What they said they were going to do last year, I mean, John David got up there and he shared, he goes, last year we were focusing on this, this, and this, and all of those things are taken care of this year. And you guys, it's just so fun to be a part of this right now. And I hope that you guys are staying connected enough to the right people and paying attention to what Arbonne is sharing with you from the Arbonne ICC, and just staying connected to the leaders that are inspired and believe, because we may get to be here right now and see it, but we're doing our very best to help pass it on to you and help you believe it and see it too. So I just thought of that as I wrote that. I thought we are inspired because Groupe Rocher and Jean David and Arbonne has proven themselves to be trustworthy, and that is inspiring to other people. So he says in this chapter, he says, how much does it really matter if someone is highly motivated by their work in life and in their life? You guys, think about how motivated you are in your life first, in every area of your life, and for me, the priorities of my life. How motivated am I to have a good relationship and strong faith that I have for me? How motivated am I to have a strong marriage? How motivated am I to be a great parent? How motivated am I to be a great Arbonne consultant, Arbonne leader, and that how motivated and inspired am I by all of that? Are you guys motivated and inspired in your life? Are you motivated and inspired by Arbonne and because you do Arbonne to be able to go give it out to the world? Do people feel that? Because he says, how much does it really matter if someone is highly motivated by his work? You turn over to page 200 and it says, he read that one study said motivated employees are 87% less likely to leave an organization compared to an unmotivated employee. Lots of studies that he read said people who are motivated at work call in dramatically fewer days, dramatically fewer insurance claims, less employees theft, fewer waste, all that. So we don't have those kind of things. But you guys, how many sick days do you call in on Arbonne? How many times do you say, I don't feel like doing Arbonne today? And you call in sick on your business today. That's what you need to ask yourself. And however many days you don't do Arbonne and you don't talk Arbonne and you don't share Arbonne is how you can determine how motivated you are by what it is you have and get to do for the world. And I'm going to talk about what Arbonne, a quote that one of the owners said that they have as a vision for Arbonne and what we are going to be as a company in this world. But you guys, think about it for you. How many days do you consistently do your at least 5 asks a day? How many days do you not feel like doing that, so you call in sick? Those are questions you need to ask yourself, write down, reflect, and study, and get something out of this so that you can determine if you are super motivated and doing what you want and need to do, and you never, skip a day, or do you need to reevaluate and figure out how to become more inspired and motivated by what it is you get to do? Because we need to be inspired first. We need to be inspired by Arbonne, our owners, the products, the leadership, the training that you get. You have to be inspired first to be able to get it, to be able to give it. You can't give something you don't give. But then you also have to turn around and become inspiring to others if you want to gain the influence that you need to be able to build an organization that will help you get to the goals that you have for your life and make a difference at the same time. There's no doubt about it. Everyone benefits from motivation and everyone wants to be inspired. So those are the facts. So we have to know how to become inspired and be inspiring to other people. He says an inspiration equation works like this. He says it's what we know, what we see, what we feel equals inspiration. What do you know, see, and feel about Arbonne that inspires you to not call in sick and to help other people discover what it is that you know, see, and feel? You guys, I get to know, see, and feel things this week that you don't. But my job now, because I'm inspired by it, is to turn around and give you what I know, see, and feel so that you can become inspired to call in fewer sick days now. And then you're going to go out there and be inspired to help other people do the same thing, from your team as a leader to the new people that you're talking to about Arbonne that you are inviting to join this community that knows, sees, and feels the direction that we're going. He says when those 3 factors come into play, it creates synergy that inspires people. And you guys, some of you may be thinking, well, you're inspired because you are in Maui, you are, in a warm climate, and everybody else is freezing cold with this winter storm Isaiah that's going on out there. And you guys, that's not true. I was inspired 17 years ago this month. This is my anniversary month too. 17 years ago, whenever I saw other people that had changed their life with this vehicle, and I came out inspired with that one meeting. Even though I'd used those products for 12 years, I came out inspired with one meeting after hearing a Discover Arbonne and hearing the stories of the lives changed at that one event. I was not even a consultant, and I came out of there inspired to tell people what I knew, saw, and believed about Arbonne. So if you're sitting there giving yourself an excuse of, well, you're inspired because you are where you are in the company, and you are, you know, in Maui right now and you get to talk to those people. That is a lie and an excuse that you're telling yourself just to give yourself permission to call in sick on the days that you don't feel like doing Arbonne the way I feel like doing Arbonne, because I didn't have any of this, and I was still doing what I did back then. I still do it today as passionately today as I did back then. Nothing has changed with the paycheck and the lifestyle that I've gotten about how I share Arbonne. Not one thing, you guys. So don't let yourself tell yourself that lie. And don't let yourself believe that because you're not where I'm at, people won't listen to you. If you believe and see and feel what I feel and what others feel in Arbonne, you have as much credibility with your people as anybody else. But it all boils down to belief. And I'm so proud of you guys for being here and being a part of these calls and staying connected to a community that's inspired so that you can catch that inspiration too. But you have to make sure that you're putting it into action so that you can, you know, get to where you want to go sooner, because it doesn't matter how, you know, where you are right now, you can still inspire other people, because I did. So don't let that excuse be anything that slows you down or stops you. He says, our ability to connect with feelings, desires, wishes, fears, and passion for your listeners is what helps people be inspired by you. So it's all about, how many times do we say, connect the dots, you know, bring it back to that other person. Don't talk about what this is for you. Help them see what you see it is for them, because that's what's going to inspire them to see, feel, and believe what it is you are sharing with them. And so he says, people need to know that you understand them and are focused on them. And anywhere from like your team and the new people that you're talking to, prospects, clients, people that you want to help, they need to sense that you're there for them. And you guys, I really think we do a great job of that. You know, there's not a lot of people that I feel like are out there going, oh my gosh, they just want me to build a team so that they can get to where they want to go. I mean, maybe I'm just so naive to it, but I think you all do a great job with that. But we have to be overly cautious that that's what we are giving people, that feeling of it's all about them, not us, because if people are hypersensitive to it, and you may get a negative reaction just because they think you're talking to them about this for you, whenever you know you're doing it for them. So just make sure that you are, you know, exaggerating the fact that you are just wanting to help them see what it is you see for them. Not what you see in Arbonne, not what you just believe about Arbonne, but what do you see, believe, know, and feel about Arbonne for them. Help them know that you're there for them. And he says that speaks an inspirational language to people. He says, a gossip is one who talks about others. A bore is someone who talks about themselves. A brilliant conversationalist is one who talks about you. Talks to you about yourself. He says they speak an inspirational language, and that is just because they're talking about the other person. So just make sure that you are always making the connection between Arbonne and other people. And he says the way that we do that is we have to know what they're thinking, and we have to ask questions and listen well. He says connectors have an attitude of, I will sit down and listen before I share what I think. And that's why we go through that 5 key point ask, you guys, and we do number 2. We go, okay, we know this business is so awesome, but how do I connect the dots to the person? What makes me think this is going to be so good for them? And that's where we have to sit down and formulate a skilled, intentional, genuine ask before we put it out there, so that we can know, people can know how we see this happening for them. And when you talk to them, we listen for their response. When people say, don't talk to me about Arbonne, you know, it's like, that doesn't mean don't talk to them about Arbonne. That means we need to know why they think they don't want to hear about Arbonne. And we have a great response of, oh my gosh, you must have had a bad experience. I love this. Tell me what happened to you. And And again, you're asking a question and then you're going to listen to their response. Most of the time they'll jumble around in the response because they've had nothing happen to them with Arbonne. It's what they want to believe or think they want to believe, but they have no facts to back it up, no stories to back it up. But if you will just sit and listen well after you ask that question, oh my gosh, what happened? You must have had a horrible experience. Then you will get to hear why they think they had an experience or that they really didn't have an experience. And you can say, well, then, you know what? Please let me share this with you. Tell me no. Feel comfortable telling me no if you want, but let me share it with you first, because I think if you understood the information and what this really is, you would be as excited about it for you as I am about it for you. And so that's just some verbiage and some language that you can do that lets you know and discover what people are thinking. And he also says, you got to listen to what people are saying, which, what are they really saying when they say, no, I don't want to hear about Arbonne, or, oh, don't talk to me about Arbonne, or, oh, I would never do Arbonne. I hear them saying those words, but what are they really saying in that? And like I said, most of the time, it's not anything based on fact. It's just you ask the right questions, listen well, and you can come back with a skilled response that focuses on them and how you can help them. And then body language, he talks about, he decided, John Maxwell talked about how he wrote a new flight attendant a little note on a piece of paper and encouraged people. And you guys, connecting the dots is where you can take the time to encourage people and tell people what's great about them. They said it took him 5 minutes to give something that will last a lifetime. So whenever we're talking to people, you guys, what we do to encourage and inspire them, the little things that we take the time to do can make a big difference. He says people need to know that you have high expectations of them. And I love this, you guys, where sometimes people worry about, expecting too much or putting pressure on people or whatever. You guys, people out there, the problem with the world is not that we have high expectations and we miss them. The problem with our world is people have low expectations and they hit them. That's the problem. People quit expecting more out of people. And even though you may have people that don't want to grow and will not hang around you because you make them uncomfortable, because they can feel you believe in them and you want them to do something they're not willing to do. They have the ability to do it, but they're not willing to do it. Those people are not going to want to hang around you, but you can inspire people to be willing to do more if you will have higher expectations of them. I have super high expectations of all of you. I never lower the bar in Arbonne for any of you. I don't care. I know life has beat some of you up. I know life is really hard right now, but I know that it doesn't matter. Whatever's going on in your life, there is still time for you to put this into your life, and it will still benefit you and take care of you in a way nothing else will if you do it. And you can do it. And when you have hard things happening, it's easier to do it sometimes than it is whenever life is just so good and easy. And I believe it with every fiber in me. But the people that you believe in more and have higher expectations of are going to rise up to those faster and than somebody who doesn't have that expected out of them. I want people to challenge me and expect more out of me than what I even expect out of myself, because it tells me that person believes in me. That person thinks I can do this. And you guys, that's what your world needs. I believe every one of you can have your butt sitting here in Maui with me next January. I believe it with all my heart. And I expect every one of you to work to get here and be here next year. I'm not going to lower that bar, because it could happen if you did what I know we need to do and can do with this vehicle that we've been given right now. So no excuses, no, well, this or that. There's a small box for a number. How many people did you talk to this week? How many conversations did you have? How many PCs did you sign up? How many consultants did you have join your team? How many kits or sets of our products did you sell? What are those numbers? That's all we need. No excuses, just numbers. And I expect it out of you, and so do your leaders. He says every time he steps in front of a group of people to communicate, he believes it'll be a good experience because he believes the best in people. He believes they can and want to change for the better. I believe that about people, not just you guys in Arbonne. I believe it about everybody. I believe it about kids that struggle with their parents being frustrated. I know those parents live with those kids on a daily basis, and it's harder to keep believing that their kid can do something different, better, or more than what they're doing, because they just have seen what they've done day after day after day, and they start believing what they see, which is true, but it doesn't make it true that that's all they can do. The ability for them to do more and be more and give more and become more is still there. And that is in every one of us, no matter what we each decide to do with it. So until the day I die, I will always believe every one of us, including myself, can do more and be more than what we are. And I believe that to my core. So when you believe that, he says, I believe they can change for better. I'm convinced that all effective leaders and communicators possess this kind of positive quality. They believe they can help people do amazing things. And he says it's like Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple, said, management is about persuading people to do things they do not want to do, while leadership is about inspiring people to do things they never thought they could. That's what Arbonne does, you guys. I didn't think I thought I could be an area manager. I'm sitting here as a 4-wide ENVP, and I'm not even close to where I'm going to be now. I had people believe in me and help me get here. That's what this journey does. And when you surround yourself with the people that are on that journey with you, that believe in you and are inspiring you by what it is you see them doing, and then you go and do it yourself, you will be here too. That's what this community does. That gives you such an advantage over the regular world out there today. Other people don't have the opportunity to become more like you do. And that should be the number one reason why you are passionate about going out there and giving this vehicle and this gift away to other people, is that you want more people to be surrounded by an environment that gets them the ability to be able to go and be who they were created to be. That's should be your number one passion. So he says that he puts a 10 on people, and he sees everyone as having the potential to be a 10. And one of the reasons that he does this, he says, is he's a naturally positive guy. And I know I'm naturally a positive girl. I mean, I grew up in, the junkyard, and I was still a positive, person in my life. But he says, I believe God created every person with value and incredible potential. But the other reason he does this is because he believes most of the time people respond to the expectation of others. If I see someone as a 5, treat them as a 5, speak to them as a 5, and more than likely after a while, I'll convince this person to act as a 5. If I treat you guys as a 5, or I treat you like your excuses are valid and that no one ever that lived with that circumstance that you're struggling with got successful in Arbonne, and I let you believe that, you would start to believe it. But what I can tell you is that I'm sitting on this beach this week and in this meeting with people that had every single thing that you're going through happen to them, and they're still here. No excuses. They had a 10 on their head. They had somebody believe and see them as a 10. They acted as a 10 no matter what. No excuses, and they're here. Same is true for you. No excuses. You're all a 10. You can act as a 10. And I believe the more we believe that, the more you will start to believe that. But it's true, you guys. There's not anybody here that isn't and hasn't gone through what it is you've gone through, and they're still here. So get here with us. No excuses. I've had this week, as good as it's been, you guys, it's been painful not having you all here with me. And so you're getting a little bit of that passion this morning, and I'm ready for it to happen so that I can enjoy this to its fullest next year whenever I come back, because you're all here with me. So he says he views them as a 10 and he treated them as such and they've grown as such. So you guys view yourself as a 10 because we do, but you've got to also give and pay that forward to other people. You have to turn around and no matter what people are doing in your business and on your team, you've got to see them as a 10. You've got to believe that they can and they will whenever they start seeing it for themselves too. And maybe it's not in your timing because guess what? You didn't get here in my timing or you'd have been here this year with me. But it's going to be, it can still happen. And you have to believe it can still happen. There were some statistics shared that you guys, it's true. You can make a number, say whatever you want. That, you know, after a certain period of time, fewer people that have been here at that long get to a certain level. It is true that if you just get in here and you just run with passion and you ignore the naysayers and you let positive things happen and nothing slow you down like I did, that's what my journey looked like. I got to where I hear faster, but it doesn't mean you can't get here. Linda Parker was in the business 10 years and then decided to start growing after that. But you guys, the numbers say that that there's fewer people that will get here after a certain time because they've been here that long. I don't believe that. I believe anybody can as soon as you decide to do what it is we all do. And that's action. Just start talking to people and you will start creating that momentum that will get you in the position that you need to grow and get yourself here. So don't look at people and think that they can't do this. Just know that they haven't chosen to be willing to do it yet. I'm challenged to give my best to others so they will give them the best of themselves. People respond positively to enthusiasm, not skepticism. They want our encouragement more than our expertise. I don't believe it's like, you know, the MVP numbers say 1% of the company is up there. Does that discourage me? That, oh my gosh, let's just take 1% of the people right here and know that only 1% of you are going to be the people that get there. I don't believe that. If you believe it, you can choose to be the 99%. But if you believe that it's only 1% because people, the other 99% aren't willing to, it's not that they're not able to. Every one of us are able to do this. It is a simple business. Every one of us is able. You just have to be willing. And I will never lower that expectation of your ability to get here. And my job is to inspire you and put a 10 on your head so that you will raise up to that faster than you would ever on your own. So simple business, just do it. Promise me that I, who am riddled with inferiority, will at least believe in myself. I have always been afraid of heights. Challenge me with Everest. Promise me afterwards I will be able to scale those icy walls and with God's help plant his mighty flag on the summit of all my doubts. Promise me that I at last will know who I am and what I was born to achieve. Promise all this and you shall have first my ear and then my soul. And this is a quote from The Empowered Communicator, written by Calvin Miller. And he says, when someone gets up to speak, what most listeners would like to say is this, is that I promise all this, and you shall first have my ear and then my soul. You guys, love it and live out your vision for people and believe in them, but don't lie to them. I mean, like I could sit here and let you lie to yourself and have those excuses, but you would never get to where I know you can if I let you believe that those are real obstacles that will keep you from getting here and where you want to be. Everyone wants to be inspired. All people want someone to believe in them. And that's the good thing, you guys. I mean, good thing and bad thing. We believe in you. And sometimes you wish that we would let you, live in your world instead of ours. But guess what? We don't get to. We believe in you. And that means that we expect more of you and have those expectations and that 10 put on your forehead. He says, people are waiting for someone to challenge, motivate, and encourage them to be all they can be. If you get an opportunity to communicate to others, why not be that someone who inspires them? And that's what we have the opportunity to do, not just in Arbonne, you guys, but with every person in our life. We get to be the people that believe more in people and empower and encourage them to believe more in themselves. And when we do that, we're going to make this world a better place. So what people need to see is they need to see your conviction. You guys, I did a training years ago when I first started Arbonne about attitude, belief, and commitment. But then recently I added to that, and I did a training that talked about attitude, belief, commitment, and conviction. And conviction takes it to an even higher level. And when you speak with conviction, there's genuine, heartfelt convictions that simply come across as words of steel. There is a determined resolve in the tone. And connectors who inspire others possess a conviction that far outweighs their words. What they communicate comes from deep within, from inner core values. Their mission is to persuade and change the points of view. People who can usually sense what speakers are simply conveying information versus when they are passionately communicating from the heart. And he says, what convinces is conviction. So are you convicted? Back to those questions. What you know, believe, and see, are you convicted in it? Are you inspired by Arbonne? Can people hear it? Is it like words of steel coming out of you and into them whenever you talk about what you know this can be for them? That's what we have to speak with. He says people need to see your credibility, because when people trust you, they will listen to you. Do they see you walking your talk? Do they see you, staying strong in this? Because you guys, people are going to test you, especially in the beginning. People still try to test me, and I'm a 4-wide NVP, and they still try to, talk negatively about me and Arbonne and what I do or how I, live it out in my life. I mean, I give away Christmas presents with Arbonne, and people go, oh, it's Arbonne. You know what they're doing? They're testing me. And I'm like, it's the best gift I could give you. And that's why I brought it and gave you this one. It doesn't bother me that they say that, but it's like, people are testing you. What do you do? And are you giving them credibility? Are you giving them the message that I am convicted about what it is I get to do with this company, these products, this opportunity? I'm convicted in it. Even though you're challenging me, I am not going to waver. I am not going to slow down or stop. I will still be your friend and love you where you're at, but I'm not going to quit talking to other people that will accept my offer to help them change their lives with this vehicle, because that's what it is for me. And so do people see that you really do mean what you say when you're talking about Arbonne, or do they see you waver with the tiny little words that they can shoot back at you, and it throws you off your A game? If you may want to be shaken by it, you guys, but know that you have to stay strong in it, because they're testing your credibility, and you are a person that believes in this. So act like it. Don't worry about pleasing them. Act on how you really feel and believe about this. And do you know, see, and feel convicted about what Arbonne is? And if it's true, who cares what that person said? You don't have to be rude, but just don't let them take you off of your path. And then all of a sudden, people will start to pay attention. They start watching you even closer than what they were, because they're trying to learn a little more about it, because now you've got their attention. Now your words have been like steel to them, and they're like, wait a minute. I tried to knock her off her Arbonne, train here, and she didn't budge. She might be a little serious about this, and I'm curious as to what she's going to do with it, or he's going to do with it. That's what you will do whenever you just stay firm in where you are, despite the message that they may have sent back to you. People need to see evidence of your character. And you guys, character is living, your daily life the way that we all know we need to live. And then also letting your walk match your talk. So don't let anybody, take you off of it. People need to feel your passion for the subject and them. Again, it has to be, you can't just be vomiting Arbonne and everything good about Arbonne and all that it is for you. It has to be what's good for you, for them, and what you're passionate about with the company and the products. He says, vision alone does not inspire change. It must be strengthened by passion. And passion and conviction, all of those things kind of all play in together. But he says, people will not always remember what you said or what you did, but they will always remember how you made them feel. And that, you guys, is people feel conviction. People feel passion. So it hits hearts in a way that converted anger and anxiety into a commitment to move to do the right thing now. And passion is powerful, he says. So when you speak, do you have passion? Real passion is more than just emotion that you whip up to get listeners excited. It comes from a much deeper place than that. And he said, if you're not sure, look on page 213. If you're not sure, the next time before you speak, ask yourself these 4 questions. Number 1, do I believe what I say? When you're talking about Arbonne, do you believe what you're telling people about Arbonne? Do you believe it? And even if they come back to you with something they think they know about Arbonne, are you going to believe Arbonne anyway? So number 1, do you believe what you have to say? 2, has it changed me? Has Arbonne changed you? 3, do I believe it will help others? Yep. And 4, have I seen it change others? And you guys, if you believe these things, you will be sharing with passion because you believe it in your core. You're convicted in it. So do you believe? This is homework for you. Ask yourself these 4 questions and figure out, let it help you figure out if you're inspired by Arbonne or not. Because then when you talk, it will sound more believable. If you can answer yes to those questions, you'll do more than just light a fire under people. You will build a fire within them. If you have that fire, it will ignite in others. So make sure you guys are running with that kind of fire so that when you're out there talking to people, you're making a bigger, you're making a big forest fire out there, not just, trying to spark a wet log with your belief because it isn't there or your passion. But passion alone isn't enough. You have to have confidence in yourself and them. And you guys, we talked about how we build confidence last week in our book club by being around other people that have confidence and that want to help you develop your confidence because they're not insecure and don't worry about you becoming more confident and it threatening them, which is what most of the world feels like and believes. But just make sure that you are confident in that you have the ability and know what you need to do and are connected to people and resources that can help you share this gift with other people. As a communicator, you have to feel good about yourself in order to help others feel good about themselves. If I'm confident about myself and tell you that I'm confident in you and your ability to do something, you're more likely to find what I say credible. So you guys, we have to work on that. And you guys are doing the hardest work. You're doing the personal growth and development by being on these book club calls, reading, and listening to other, people that are confident and helping you become the better version of you so that you can be, you surround yourself with more educated, gifted, and knowledgeable people so that you can become those kind of people and be that for somebody else. But he says, if you're not overflowing with natural confidence, then don't lose heart. You can still learn to help your listeners feel more confident about themselves if you approach communication in the right way. And so you guys, it can be learned and you don't have to be somebody that goes, well, I don't have a lot now. You're working on it and you're learning it right now. Hang on, guys. I don't know if it's an early wake up call or the coffee I had, but my stomach is not feeling that great right now. People need to feel your gratitude for them. They need to feel, that you appreciate them, you value them. And you guys, it's so funny because this is what he wrote in this chapter, whenever he wrote this book, but I was listening to him this week and it was talking about like how you build trust and how you value other people and you're grateful for other people. And it's everything he's saying in these, it's what he says in those little Minute with Maxwell's. I hope you guys listen to those and stay inspired by those on a daily basis because they're quick and easy. But he says he works hard to cultivate a heart of gratitude and make an effort to express gratitude continually. And you guys, be grateful for people even if they don't respond positively to Arbonne. Be grateful that they're helping you develop your strength in how to respond to people that are negative. Like, I'm so glad I have those people that make me practice the skill of getting stronger in my conviction and not wavering in my journey even though I get negative, responses. It's like the little goal sheet that we had, and it's like has 100 no's and it says go for no. Be grateful for those no's, because it means you've been doing what you need to do. And even though you've heard a no or heard something negative, you kept going forward in the direction you needed to for your life in Arbonne or any other area of your life. So don't let people take you off your game, even though they're being negative. Be grateful for it. And help listeners feel passionate, confident, and inspired, you must express gratitude. And to do that, you must first be a grateful person. And you guys, some people aren't grateful naturally. Some people are naturally kind of negative and, victim mindset. And they are not just, a happy, grateful person for the good and the hard. And you have to work on that. But that's where we learn how to do that here in Arbonne. We learn how to be grateful for even the hard things, because you guys, if my life hadn't been hard and I hadn't wanted a change, I wouldn't even be here. I'm so grateful for every hard thing in my life, because I did this. It brought me here, but it also helped me do this and move in the direction I wanted to go instead of the direction I was going. But it also helps me believe that no matter what your life is like, I've experienced a lot of hard, and I know I did it anyway. And I know you can too. I'm grateful for all of those things for those reasons. And so if everything was easy, we wouldn't be very inspiring to people, because we were like, oh, I got here because there was no problems for me whatsoever. I never had anything bad happen to me. I never had anyone tell me no. You have to have a grateful heart in order to be able to express gratitude. And he says, say the right things at the right time and give people an action plan. He says, connectors inspire people to move from know-how to do-how. So every week we do the know-how, you guys, but unless what we do on these book club calls is inspiring you to do now, we're not doing our job. If all we do is show up and take notes, and that's what, honestly, most people do. There was a quote by one of the speakers here at the meeting this week, and they said, Tony Robbins says that 87% of the people that go to a meeting, this is a meeting, leave and do nothing with it. Where are you at in that? Are you applying and doing the do-how every time you listen to a training or show up for a training? Are you doing now what you just learned? Because the faster you do that, you guys, the faster you will move in the direction you want. But if we just show up and take great notes, that makes you a great student of knowledge, but it doesn't make you somebody who's going to be out there making a difference with what it is you learned. It's like having a gift and burying it and keeping it to yourself. He says that he recommends an action plan to people based on the word ACT, A-C-T. And he says, he tells them, put a letter A beside those things that you learned that you need to apply. So that's your A. What have you learned this week or in this book club that you need to apply to your business? Maybe it's, I need to start telling myself that I'm not going to, I'm going to remind myself not to waver whenever I hear a no or whatever. You put what you need to apply. Put a C beside those things that you learned that you need to change. And then put a T beside those things that you need to teach. So that's on page 224, the formula to do now with what you have learned and not just have the know-how. If you desire to connect with others, you must strive to inspire people. Do it to make the world better. If you can inspire others, making the world better is within your reach. You guys, the power you have to make this world a better place is so crazy beyond what you can possibly see. The power of one in life is a big difference maker, you guys. But you are in a vehicle that has the power of one to change the world. That's the power you have now with this vehicle called Arbonne, because your life is going to affect and has the ability to affect so many more lives because of the networking model that we use, that your effect, you will not even know the effect you have had on this world. It will be such a ripple that just goes out and never stops. But I want you guys to, if you're multitasking or whatever, listen to me now. I'm going to do this uncomfortable pause so that you can just hear what I'm going to say, because it was a quote that sums up what it is we get to do. Yeah. I'm so proud of our company, you guys. I'm so proud of our owners. I'm so proud of the leaders that just want to inspire and help grow you up to who you have the ability and were created to be, you guys, because this is who we are a part of. This company, our owners said that they don't want Arbonne to just be the best company in the world. They want Arbonne to be the best company for the world. That is what you are a part of. That is the mission and the vision that you are a part of. It is our job to go out and make this world a better place for everyone and to build an army of people that are going to help us do that too. We can't do it by ourselves. One is not a big enough number to make a difference, you guys, but the power of one in this vehicle is so crazy powerful. You will never know the effect that you have that changed the world. So Arbonne does not want to be the best company in the world. They want to be the best company for the world. Is that what you want? Do you believe that? Are you convicted in that? And are you on the mission with us to make that happen? I am. It's where I'm going. So connecting with people at all levels, connectors inspire people. And what people remember most is how you make them feel. And they do it with the qualities of a heart to serve, a person with good values, a helping hand, a caring spirit. People don't care how much you know till they know how much you care, and a believing attitude. A believing attitude in them and a believing attitude in what it is you do and have to offer them. And it's all about them. Connecting in a group, people want to know that you will first go and lead by your example. You guys, you're in your group of people. They need to know you're willing to go first, no matter what, no matter how hard they make it on you, no matter how hard they see it being for you. They need to know you're willing to go out there and do what it is you're telling them they need to do first. They need that you will be willing to ask them to do what you have done or are willing to do, and that you will teach them to do what you've already done, and that their success is more important to you than your success, and that you will get credit, they will get credit for their accomplishments, and that you will celebrate their success. That's what a group of people need to know from you. And I hope you know that from your leaders here in Arbonne and with Arbonne. Connecting with an audience, it's more important aspect of communication when trying to connect with an audience is how you make them feel. They should see that you are enjoying being with them and want to help them. They should feel that you are their friend, and they should feel that you're an authentic and vulnerable, not perfect, but growing leader. And they should feel that you are conversing with them, not talking down to them. And they should feel that you believe in them and that they can believe in themselves. So you guys, that is how we are going to inspire people to join this mission and make a difference in this world with this vehicle. And you know what? Not everybody's going to say yes to you, but it doesn't matter. We only need a few people to make a big difference. I want to tell you, and you guys can get off of here if you want, but I mean, they celebrate you here, and they do what that book just talked about to inspire us to continue to want to do more, but they celebrate different levels of accomplishment at this level. And it's exciting to see who is at the MVP level and is doing things even bigger than, the group that we're here with. All of us are at the top that you want to chase and follow. And they have like 4 wide MVPs and 5 wide, 6 wide, and 12 wide. You guys, there's not that many of us. They recognize 10+ wide area managers. There's not that many. It doesn't take a lot to be wildly successful. You don't have to have a lot of people to get successful. You just need to keep talking to the right to enough people to find the few right people, because the power of one in this business is crazy. But if you don't talk to them with belief and passion and conviction and connect what you see this being for them, you're not going to get the same results. You can talk all day long, but you're going to get different results. But you have to believe, no matter what, no matter how many people have quit your team, no matter how many people have joined your team but did nothing with it, no matter how many times people have ghosted you, that this business is still the best thing out there for the world. Do you believe that? And do you power through everything in your life and keep giving this away with passion? Because when you do it, even though people know life is happening, that gets people's attention. When you do it, even though you don't feel like doing it, that gets people's attention, because they know you really shouldn't even have the energy to talk Arbonne right now. But look, you get all excited again. I can be so tired, you guys, and so worn out. And when I start talking Arbonne to somebody, I have the energy of a 10-year-old. I mean, that is what people will notice. They can see my passion. They can feel my conviction, because it doesn't matter what's going on in life. No matter what hard thing is happening, I can still talk and get passionate and have energy, more energy, when I talk and share this gift. So that's what people need to see, because you believe that for yourself. So I hope this helps you. What did you guys get out of this that inspired you to not just know how, but do how this week? Anybody want to share? Anyone? If not, I hope that you are inspired to go out and live with conviction today and embrace the cold, bitter that you may be in today, and let that negative be inspired to help you know that you want to be in Maui next January, so that when it's cold there, you're in this warm, beautiful sunshine with this ocean breeze and the waves lapping up against you. And you're enjoying this and not out there in the cold yuck that we have to be in this month of January across the US and everywhere else that we live. So love you guys. I hope you get inspired to be here with me next year, because it sure would make it more fun for me. I missed you.